Hi there, and welcome back to Learn English with Ease, where we explore topics that make our lives better, one conversation at a time. Today, we're diving into a fascinating topic that's been studied for centuries: happiness. What really makes us happy? Is it money, success, relationships, or something else entirely? To help us understand the science of happiness, we're joined by Dr. Noor, a psychologist and happiness researcher. Welcome, Dr. Noor.
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here and excited to talk about one of my favorite topics, happiness.
So let's start with the big question. Is there a formula for happiness?
Great question. There's no one-size-fits-all formula, but research shows that happiness can be broken down into three key factors. First, about 50% of our happiness is influenced by our genetics, what we call a happiness set point. Another 10% comes from our circumstances, like where we live or how much money we make. The remaining 40% is based on our actions, thoughts, and habits. This means a huge portion of our happiness is within our control.
That's really encouraging. So, what are some of those habits or actions that can boost happiness?
There are several evidence-based practices. Let me share a few of the most impactful ones. Practicing gratitude. Studies show that regularly reflecting on what we're thankful for can increase happiness significantly. Even writing down 3 things you're grateful for each day can make a big difference. Fostering relationships. Strong, meaningful relationships are one of the biggest predictors of happiness. It's not about the number of friends, but the quality of your connections. Acts of kindness. Doing something kind for others, whether it's helping a neighbor, volunteering, or even just complimenting someone, creates a boost in our mood and theirs. Mindfulness and meditation. Being present and focusing on the here and now reduces stress and helps us appreciate life's little moments. Exercise. Physical activity isn't just good for the body, it's a happiness booster. Exercise releases endorphins, which are often called feel-good hormones.
That's a fantastic list. I love that these are simple, actionable steps anyone can take. But I'm curious, what about money? A lot of people think that more money equals more happiness. What does the research say?
You're not alone in thinking that. It's a common belief. Studies do show that money can buy happiness to a certain extent, but only up to a point. For example, once our basic needs, like food, housing, and security, are met, the impact of additional income on happiness levels off. Beyond that, how we spend our money matters more than how much we have. Spending on experiences, like travel or hobbies, or on others, like gifts or charity, brings more happiness than buying material things.
That's such an important perspective. Experiences over things. It makes sense because experiences stay with us as memories. Now, what about the idea of chasing big goals? Does achieving success bring long-term happiness?
That's a tricky one. Setting and achieving goals can bring us happiness, but there's a catch. We often adapt to success quickly, and the initial joy fades, a phenomenon called the hedonic treadmill. This is why it's important to balance goal setting with enjoying the process. Pursue goals that align with your values, and take time to celebrate small wins along the way.
I love that, celebrating small wins. It's a great reminder not to get so focused on the destination that we forget to enjoy the journey. So, let's talk about challenges. Life isn't always smooth, and we all face setbacks. How can we stay happy during tough times?
That's a powerful question. Resilience plays a big role here. People who are happier tend to view challenges as opportunities to grow rather than obstacles. Building resilience involves practices like positive reframing, finding something good or a lesson in a difficult situation. Seeking support, leaning on friends or family for help. Self-compassion, treating yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a friend. Also, it's okay not to feel happy all the time. Negative emotions are a natural part of life, and accepting them instead of resisting them can actually help us move through them more quickly.
That's such an important point. Happiness doesn't mean avoiding negative emotions but learning how to manage them. Before we wrap up, Dr. Noor, if you had to leave our listeners with one key takeaway about happiness, what would it be?
I'd say remember that happiness is a skill you can cultivate. It's not about achieving perfection or constant joy. It's about creating habits and mindsets that help you live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Focus on the things you can control, like gratitude, kindness, and connection, and the rest will follow.
Beautifully said. Thank you so much, Dr. Noor, for sharing these insights with us today. I've learned so much, and I'm sure our listeners have too.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in. Remember, happiness is not a destination, it's a journey. Start small, make positive changes, and enjoy the ride. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and share it with someone who might need a little happiness boost. See you next time on Learn English with Ease.